In this video we will see how to create a context menu or pop-up menu functionality in a Windows Forms application using Visual Basic.net. So first thing you want to do is create a Windows Forms application using Visual Studio 2010. Once your application is created, what I'm going to do is first thing going to drag and drop a context menu strip control onto the form. When you drag and drop this context menu strip control, you will see context menu strip 1 is added to the components tray. Now you can set its properties by right click and select properties, or by hitting F4. As you can see, you can set background color, foreground color, image, or any other properties which you can do in any other control here for the whole context menu. So you can also add context menu items here. Keep in mind, a context menu is nothing without its items. If you just have a context menu and there are no items in it, you will see nothing. So to add a context menu item, it's very simple. You just add it here and type your item name. Say I call it close. Now this context menu item is a separate control and can be added to context menu strip. So if you right click on this, you will see it has its own properties. This control is actually a tool strip menu item control, and as you can see, it can have its own background color or any other properties like any other control does. So that's that. Now next thing you want to do is, what a context menu strip does is, when you right click on a control, a pop-up menu or context menu pops up, and when you click a menu item, it does something. So it executes some code. So what we need to do is, on this close context menu item, we need to actually write an event handler, and adding an event handler to a context menu item is very simple in Visual Studio 2010. You just double click on it. As soon as you double click, you see the context menu item event handler is added. On this, what I'm going to write is, I'm going to write a simple code called me.close. What this me.close does is closes the form. So now, so far what we did is created a context menu strip control, added a menu item close, and now the last thing we want to do is attach this context menu strip to a control. Again, we can attach to a control even including the form itself. So what I'm going to do, I right click on the form, properties, and look for context menu strip property, which is right here. As you can see, now if I select the drop and down, I see context menu strip 1. I select this. So what it's doing now, it's attaching this context menu strip control to the form. So let's hit F5 to run the application, and now if I right click on this form, you will see my context menu appears. If I select close, it closes the form. So that's basically a nutshell of how to use this context menu and how to build context menu enabled applications in Windows Forms. Now I'm going to take a little more complex example. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to create a button control, drag and drop to the form. Now I'm going to create one more context menu strip control, and I call this control button menu. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to add a menu item called color. Then one more thing you can do, a context menu, you can even add sub items. I'm going to add sub items, say foreground and background. Like any other items, each of these menu item can have its own event. So I'm going to double click on foreground, and I'm going to double click on background. What actually I'm going to do is, I'm going to call a color dialog control and select that will let you select a color, and then I'm going to set the color of that button control. So you see I created a color dialog, and if it's selected OK, I set foreground color of the button to the color selected in the color dialog. Now here I'm going to set back color, so that will do it. Now simply F5, hit and run. Oh, I forgot one thing. Now one thing I missed is I'm going to attach this context menu called button menu to the button control by right click, properties, go to context menu, strip property and select button menu. Now I can hit F5. When you hit F5, if you right click on the button, you will see color and you will see foreground and background. When you select foreground, color dialog pops up and you can pick any color you want. Say I pick pink color, and then you say foreground and I'll say yellow. Boom, there you go. So by applying same method, you can add context menu or pop-up menu functionality to any Windows Forms control. Again, this is a basic tutorial, and if you want more, just keep coming back to the site. I'll have more detailed tutorial soon.